Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and lush green fields, there lived a poor farmer named Kwame. Kwame was known far and wide for his hard work and dedication to his farm. Every day, from dawn till dusk, he toiled under the hot sun, tending to his crops and animals with love and care. Despite his tireless efforts, Kwame remained poor. His farm yielded just enough to sustain his family, but there was never any surplus to sell or trade for better living conditions. Determined to change his fortune, Kwame decided to seek the help of herbalists in the nearby town. He visited one herbalist after another, hoping that their potions and spells would bring him wealth and prosperity. Each time, he spent his hard-earned coins on remedies that promised riches but delivered nothing. Disheartened but not defeated, Kwame continued his search for a solution to his poverty. One day, while walking through the forest near his farm, Kwame came across a mysterious clearing he had never seen before. As he cautiously stepped into the clearing, he saw a beautiful girl with shimmering skin and eyes that sparkled like stars. She was a spirit of the forest, known for her wisdom and kindness. "Who are you, and what brings you to this hidden place?" the spirit girl asked with a gentle smile. Kwame, intrigued by her presence, explained his plight. He told her about his hard work, his struggles, and his futile attempts to become rich through herbal remedies. The spirit girl listened attentively, nodding occasionally as she absorbed his words. "I have heard your story, Kwame," she said softly. "But perhaps you have been looking in the wrong places for wealth and prosperity." Kwame looked at her, puzzled. "What do you mean?" The spirit girl reached out and touched his hand. "Your answer lies not in potions or spells, but in seeking guidance from those who have passed on." Kwame's eyes widened in surprise. "You mean I should consult the spirits of the dead?" The spirit girl nodded. "Yes, but not just any spirit. You should consult someone who was dear to you in life, someone who understands your struggles and desires." Kwame thought for a moment, and then it struck him. His father, who had been a wise and hardworking farmer like himself, had passed away when Kwame was young. He had always looked up to his father for guidance and wisdom. "Can you help me, spirit girl? Can you show me how to contact my father's spirit?" Kwame asked eagerly. The spirit girl smiled warmly. "I can guide you, but the journey will be yours alone. Tomorrow night, at the stroke of midnight, come to this clearing and call out to your father with all your heart. He will hear you if your intentions are pure." With a grateful heart, Kwame thanked the spirit girl and returned home. That night, he could hardly sleep, filled with anticipation and hope for the next day. The following night, as the moon hung high in the sky, Kwame made his way to the clearing. He stood in the center, closed his eyes, and called out to his father's spirit with all the love and longing in his heart. "Father, hear me. I seek your guidance and wisdom. Help me find the wealth and prosperity that has eluded me for so long." At first, there was silence, and Kwame's heart sank. But then, a gentle breeze rustled through the trees, and a voice, faint but unmistakable, spoke to him. "My son, I hear you. I have watched over you with pride and love. The path to true wealth is not paved with gold but with hard work, perseverance, and the love of family." Kwame listened intently as his father's spirit imparted words of wisdom and encouragement. He realized that true wealth was not just about material riches but about happiness, contentment, and the love of those around him. As Kwame listened to his father's soothing words, a warm glow enveloped him, and suddenly, his father's spirit appeared before him. His father smiled warmly and extended his hand, holding a small seed. "My son," his father said, "this seed is a gift from the spirits. Plant it at the back of your house, water it with love and dedication, and watch it grow into something that will change your life." Filled with excitement and gratitude, Kwame took the seed from his father's hand and followed his instructions. He carefully prepared the soil, planted the seed, and tended to it every day with utmost care, just as he did with his farm. Days turned into weeks, and Kwame's seed sprouted into a tiny plant, showing signs of life and growth. But just as it started to flourish, a new challenge arose. Goats from neighboring farms discovered the tender plant and began nibbling on its leaves, hindering its growth. Kwame was distraught. He had put so much hope into the seed given by his father's spirit, and now it seemed like all was lost. Determined not to give up, he sought the help of his friend, Kofi, who owned an old, big calabash that he no longer used. "Kofi, please lend me your calabash," Kwame pleaded. "I need it to protect my plant from the goats." Kofi, seeing Kwame's desperation, agreed to lend him the calabash. With Kofi's help, they placed the calabash around the plant, creating a protective barrier that kept the goats at bay. Days turned into months, and Kwame's plant grew stronger and taller within the safety of the calabash shield. It blossomed into a magnificent tree, bearing fruits that were unlike anything the village had ever seen. The fruits were large, juicy, and filled with a sweetness that captivated everyone who tasted them. Kwame began to sell the fruits in the market, and soon, word spread about the miraculous tree that produced such exquisite fruits. People from far and wide came to buy Kwame's fruits, and he earned a good income from his newfound success. With the money he earned, Kwame was able to improve his living conditions. He repaired his house, bought new tools for his farm, and even hired help to tend to his crops and animals. He no longer worried about being poor because the tree from his father's spirit had brought him wealth beyond his wildest dreams. But amidst his prosperity, Kwame never forgot the lessons he learned from his father's spirit. He continued to work hard, cherish his family, and give back to the community that had supported him through his struggles. As Kwame's tree flourished and his wealth grew, envy began to take root in the heart of his friend, Kofi. Seeing Kwame's success and prosperity, Kofi's heart filled with jealousy and bitterness. He couldn't bear to see his once poor friend living a life of abundance while he struggled to make ends meet. One day, fueled by his envy and greed, Kofi approached Kwame with a demand that took Kwame by surprise. "Kwame," Kofi said with a forced smile, "I need the old calabash I lent you years ago. It's time you return it to me." Kwame, taken aback by Kofi's sudden request, hesitated. "But Kofi, the calabash is around the base of the tree. It has become a part of the tree's protection. I can't just remove it without harming the tree." Kofi's smile faded, replaced by a look of determination. "I don't care about your tree, Kwame. I need that calabash, and I need it in whole. If you can't give it to me, then the only option is to cut down the tree." Kwame's heart sank at Kofi's words. He couldn't believe that his friend, who had once helped him protect the very tree that brought him wealth, was now demanding its destruction. "Please, Kofi," Kwame pleaded, "don't do this. The tree is not just a source of wealth for me. It's a symbol of hope and blessings from my father's spirit. I beg you, don't take that away from me." But Kofi's heart was hardened by jealousy and greed. He refused to listen to Kwame's pleas and insisted on getting the calabash back in whole. Reluctantly, Kwame agreed to Kofi's demand, knowing that he had no choice but to comply. With a heavy heart, he watched as Kofi brought a group of men with axes and saws to cut down the tree. The sound of chopping and falling branches echoed through the village as Kwame's once magnificent tree came crashing down. Tears welled up in Kwame's eyes as he witnessed the destruction of something that had brought him so much joy and prosperity. Once the tree was felled, Kofi retrieved the old calabash from the base of the fallen tree. With a sense of triumph mixed with guilt, Kofi left Kwame standing amidst the ruins of his once thriving tree. The loss of the tree hit Kwame hard. Without its fruits to sell, his income dwindled, and he once again struggled to make ends meet. The wealth and prosperity he had enjoyed seemed like a distant dream now, shattered by the jealousy and greed of a friend. But Kwame didn't give up hope. He remembered the lessons his father's spirit had taught him about hard work and perseverance. With renewed determination, Kwame set out to rebuild his farm and his life, vowing never to let envy and greed destroy his happiness. As the years passed, Kwame's friend, Kofi, whom he had forgiven for the destruction of his miraculous tree, experienced a joyous event in his life. His wife gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, whom they named Akojua. The village rejoiced at the arrival of the new member of their community, and Kwame, despite their past differences, congratulated Kofi and wished his family well. However, joy soon turned to worry when, 3 days after Akojua's birth, she fell mysteriously ill. Despite Kofi and his wife's efforts to care for her, the baby's condition worsened, and they grew desperate for a cure. They sought the help of a renowned herbalist in the nearby town, who examined Akojua and gave them a grim diagnosis. "Your daughter's illness is caused by an evil spirit," the herbalist explained. "To cure her, you must find a necklace made from a special kind of bead. It has the power to ward off evil spirits and restore health." Kofi searched tirelessly for the special bead necklace, asking villagers and traveling far and wide in his quest. Days turned into weeks, but he couldn't find the elusive necklace anywhere. In his desperation, he remembered that his old friend Kwame had once shown him a necklace made with the special bead. Rushing to Kwame's house with hope in his heart, Kofi begged his friend to give him the necklace. Without hesitation, Kwame retrieved the necklace and handed it to Kofi, saying, "I hope this helps your daughter recover, my friend." Kofi rushed back home and placed the necklace around Akojua's neck. Miraculously, as if touched by a divine force, Akojua's health improved, and she began to thrive once again. Kofi and his wife were overjoyed and grateful for the miraculous recovery of their daughter. 20 years passed, and Akojua grew into a beautiful young woman, loved and cherished by her parents and the entire village. But the necklace that had once saved her life remained around her neck, impossible to remove as it had become a part of her. One day, Kwame visited Kofi's house, his expression grave and determined. "Kofi," Kwame said, "I need the necklace back. It is time for me to reclaim what is rightfully mine." Kofi's heart sank as he looked at his daughter, knowing that removing the necklace was impossible without harming her. "Kwame, I'm sorry, but I cannot give you the necklace. It is a part of Akojua now, and I cannot risk her well-being." Kwame's eyes hardened with resolve. "I need the necklace and I must collect in whole. There are only one options here, Kofi. Your daughter's head need to be chopped off." Kofi was horrified at Kwame's words. He knew that Kwame was still harboring resentment and seeking revenge for the past. In a panic, Kofi ran to the king, seeking justice and protection for his daughter. The king listened to Kofi's plea and summoned Kwame to his court. When Kwame arrived, the king heard both sides of the story. The tale of the destroyed tree and the demand for the necklace. After careful consideration, the king invoked the principle of blood for blood and an eye for an eye. He declared that a date would be set for Okoshua's head to be chopped off as retribution for the destruction of Kwame's tree. The news spread quickly through the village, and on the appointed day, villagers gathered to witness the execution. Kwame stood among the crowd, his heart heavy with sorrow and regret. He knew that his demand for the necklace had brought about this tragic turn of events. As the king's messenger prepared to carry out the sentence, a wave of pity and remorse washed over Kwame. He couldn't bear to see an innocent life taken for the sake of his vengeance. "Stop!" Kwame cried out, pushing through the crowd. "Don't hurt her. I cannot stand the situation." Kwame turned to his friend and said, "Kofi, I have only done this to revenge what you did to me in the past, but I cannot take it within me that my revenge will cost a life. I forgive you. Go home with your daughter and the necklace. I don't need it anymore." Everyone at the gathering hailed and praised Kwame for the good deed, and they all parted ways and went home. Kwame, filled with relief in his heart, decided to take the long, busy path to his house just to while away time. Midway to his house, a gentle breeze blew and his father appeared to him. He praised him for his act of forgiveness, saying, "You have done well, my son. A big reward waits you." His father gave him a blanket and said, "Take this. When you get home, spread this blanket over the root of your fallen tree." And with that words, his father disappeared. Kwame rushed home and immediately went to his backyard to the remains of the fallen tree. He spread the blanket over it and went back inside to continue the activities of the day. The next day, at dawn, Kwame woke up early and rushed to his backyard. He was with an open mouth, shocked at what he saw. Lo and behold, his tree was standing again. Bigger and fresher than it was before it was chopped down. More ripe fruits hanging on the branches. He fell to his knees and thanked the spirit of his father. As the news of Kwame's rejuvenated tree spread throughout the village, people from far and wide came to witness the miraculous sight. They marveled at the lush foliage, the abundance of fruits, and the sense of renewal that seemed to permeate the air around the tree. Kwame, humbled by the outpouring of admiration and gratitude from his fellow villagers, took it upon himself to share the lessons he had learned through his journey of forgiveness and redemption. He spoke at gatherings, telling the story of his tree and how forgiveness had brought about new life and blessings. The villagers listened intently, inspired by Kwame's wisdom and the power of second chances. They began to see forgiveness not just as a virtue but as a transformative force that could heal wounds and mend relationships. Kofi, in particular, was deeply moved by Kwame's forgiveness and the miraculous rebirth of the tree. He approached Kwame with tears in his eyes, expressing his heartfelt gratitude and remorse for his past actions. "Kwame, I can never thank you enough for your forgiveness," Kofi said, his voice filled with emotion. "You have shown me the true meaning of compassion and grace. I am sorry for the pain I caused you and the destruction I brought upon your tree." Kwame embraced his old friend, tears of reconciliation and joy mingling between them. "Kofi, we are brothers once again. Let us leave the past behind and embrace the future with hope and understanding." From that day forward, Kwame and Kofi worked together to spread messages of forgiveness and unity in the village. They organized community events, planted new trees, and worked on projects that brought the villagers together in harmony and cooperation. As years passed, Kwame's tree continued to thrive, becoming a symbol of resilience and the enduring power of forgiveness. It provided shade and nourishment to generations of villagers, reminding them of the importance of compassion and second chances. The spirit of Kwame's father watched over the village with pride, knowing that his son had embraced the values he had instilled in him. He appeared to Kwame in dreams, offering words of guidance and encouragement, and Kwame felt his father's presence in every leaf and branch of the magnificent tree. And so, the village prospered, not just in material wealth but in the richness of human connection and understanding. Kwame's story became a legend, passed down through generations as a reminder that forgiveness is not just an act of kindness but a transformative force that can change lives and communities. As the sun set over the village, casting a golden glow over Kwame's tree, the villagers gathered around, singing songs of gratitude and unity. And in that moment, Kwame knew that his journey of forgiveness had come full circle, bringing blessings and renewal to all who embraced its lessons. Thank you for watching. Kindly do well to like and share this video. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you as you do so.